Alright, it is time for part 4 of my favorite games from Next Fest of the 2024 October edition. Got plenty more demos to get to and plenty more streams. So sit back and relax, and here are some of my favorites from the event. We're starting things off with Mousebusters. This is an adventure game, kind of, where after moving into your new apartment, you discover that there's ghosts here. But there's a greater problem. After your first night, you wake up as a mouse. But with the help of the chief mouse, you two decide to become Ghostbusters in order to save the apartment and its tenants from those evil ghosts. Why are you a mouse? How does your friendly mouse have a tie and working computer? Well, you're going to have to play the game to figure that out. The gameplay here seems to be more along the lines of an adventure game, as you'll explore each apartment trying to figure out where the ghost is, and then get into kind of like a light combat with them. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more depth to the mechanics here. I don't know how far it's going to go in the main game, but I do enjoy the pixel art, and it seems like a very cute game to play. So, if you're looking for a very small adventure with some big fights to be had, I would at least give this one a try. We're doing some very different kind of busting, next with Hark The Ghoul. This is a Kingsfield-inspired first-person RPG. You play a bug-human hybrid in a strange city. When you awaken from a cocoon, you find that most of the citizens have gone mad. The city is in chaos. The castle has an ominous red light around it, and you're going to figure things out one hack and slash at a time. The gameplay here should be familiar to anyone who's played Lunacid from last year or Dread Delusion of this year. You'll explore the city looking for upgrades, shortcuts, and anything that you can get your hands on to aid you. While there is leveling up in this one, it is kept, at least from the demo, very self-contained. As you level up, you'll gain Nectar points, and Nectar is kind of like your skill points that you can apply to raise your stats, such as unlock lifesteal, increase movement speed, increase jump speed, etc. The bulk of your actual damage will be coming from the gear that you find and upgrade in the world. Now, they are definitely aiming for the kind of Kingsfield, the world is a giant maze kind of approach, and it can be quite easy to get lost in this the city streets. Now, I would have liked maybe a little bit more depth to the combat. You only have kind of just a generic slash and like a heavy slash, so don't be expecting dodges, parries, and stuff like that. But the world is certainly full of charm, and if you are a fan of the Kingsfield formula, this is definitely an easy recommendation. And if you haven't played Lunacid or Dread Delusion, they are also worthy titles of this style to check out. We now go to a Tower Factory. This is a tower defense meets automation game, with a whole lot of roguelite thrown in. The rules are, you need to assemble your production line and your resource gathering in order to fund the towers and other things you need in order to defeat the evil wizard who is sending troops to destroy you. The challenge is that you need to quickly amass the resources that you need, because once the enemy starts sending units over, it does not stop. So you need to figure out exactly how much of each resource you need, set up kind of any production buildings or kind of consumers, and get them to your main tower in order for them to count. After a run, win or lose, you'll get coins that can be used to either upgrade the stuff that you have or unlock new towers, new refiners, etc. I like the idea of this one. My concern is that at the moment this feels like either a very basic tower defense with automation or a very basic automation game with tower defense. And I don't know how far they're going to go into, I guess, either way in the main version. Looking at the unlocks, you're simply unlocking like different towers, different strategies, but you're not really unlocking anything new for the automation side. getting like unlocks that start you with more resources is going to be more important than anything else, because again, once enemies start coming to have specific weaknesses, if you don't have the correct tower on the field to counter it, you're basically screwed at that point. I do like this concept, and it's definitely one if you're looking as a tower defense fan for something with a little bit more interesting aspects to it. We now switch over to Onikura. This is a boss rush focused game, where you are apparently fighting evil spirits, and you must use dash and sword in order to do this. How this one works is that you have your normal attack, a parry, you can heal, and as you build up your meter, which you can't kind of see in the upper left, you'll be able to access different special moves which are there to either counter the enemy's attack or do lots of damage to them. The bosses are all random pattern design, and you'll need to learn how to parry or defend against their moves if you have any chance of winning. After each battle, you'll be able to choose from different unlocks that you can then kind of use to change your build, have different perks, have different special moves, etc, etc. This one is definitely going to be on the challenging side. I have two main issues actually with this. The first is that communicating to the player what is safe or the correct timings for attacks can be very difficult. This is one of those games that it tells you when an attack can be parried, but that visual and audio indicator is not the actual tell for the attack. And when some enemies have kind of multiple combo swings, you're not given tells for them. So you really have to basically learn through dying in this one to have any chance. The other issue that I have is that combat felt a little bit slow. Your basic attack is, well, basic and doesn't do a lot of damage unless you get one of the upgrades for it. And because of that, I feel like combat is missing like a master reward, like something to make it go by a little bit faster. Because once you figure out what their pattern is, it's just a matter of repetition and execution to get it done. Still, there is definitely potential here for someone looking for a very challenging boss rush game. So if you don't mind a little bit of hard work to deal with your demons, then definitely give this one a try. We now go to the good old days. This is a Metroidvania adventure. You play a boy who has just one day to save his friends, save his house, repay his family's debt, and explore the complete underground caverns of his small town home. The challenge in this one is that you only have a fixed amount of time in order to collect the money and get through all the routes in order to see the game's best ending. You'll get access to different abilities by finding and rescuing your friends, who will of course aid you in puzzle solving and exploration. This one is looking like it's going to be on the challenging side, simply by the fact that you need to learn where all the shortcuts are, where the secret passages, items, and the routing that you need. Certain events will only happen at specific times of the day, and if you run out of health, you'll lose a few minutes. I found the jumping to be a little bit awkward. There were sometimes I felt like it was just not reading the input. And it is very easy to die in this one, again, by the fact that it's very easy to come back to life. This one I would recommend if you are looking for a very challenging take on the Metroidvania format, and one that's going to be more about time sensitive rather than kind of movement and platforming tech. And I am curious to see like how this will all develop in the finished version, and kind of like where the Metroidvania design will lead. We now go to Escapen't. This is a kind of escape room by way of the Stanley Parable. You are trapped in a strange place where a game master heckles you and tries to put you into a variety of puzzles. Why are you here? What do they want? What are the strange things going on around you? Well, again, you're going to have to figure that out by doing lots and lots of weird tasks. The game is about you solving the myriad of puzzles either legitimately or seeing how things fit within the world itself. It's hard to tell from the demo how hard the main game is going to be. If you are used to stuff like the Stanley Parable, or when puzzle games get very subversive, you should be fine. If you're trying to play this straight as a puzzle game, you may end up being frustrated about how some of these rules and stuff are going to work. Still, I had some fun with this one, and I am curious to see where it will lead. If you're not a kind of adventure or a puzzle game fan, then this one is probably not going to do anything for you. But if you're looking for a little mystery to go with your puzzle solving, then at least give this demo a try. And now for the last game of today's episode, we turn to Prospector. This is an automation game where you play someone who's been sent to an alien world in order to once again harvest all those lovely resources that are there. It reminds me a little bit of Nova Islands in terms of the approach of using robots and setting up automation along those lines in order to circumvent or speed up a lot of the resource gathering, resource production, etc. Now, where this game does differ is that there's a little bit more progression, as you're going to be trying to complete tasks and help out various colonies who will then return the favor by giving you access to new resources, new hardware, etc., etc. Now, I didn't get a chance to see kind of if there will be a focus or any focus on combat in this one. You have your kind of laser / harvester defense item, but didn't really see too much on that front or beyond that. The main loop at the start is going to be completing orders, which will earn you credits that can be used to unlock new features, new items, and so on, while setting up again the basic infrastructure of your base. You make sure that you have these kinds of like tethers or hooks that will provide you and various buildings with power. Of course, make sure you have power going, assembly lines, and all that great stuff. Now, my main issue with Prospector is that I played this for about like 50 minutes or so, and I didn't get to the point of basic automation. Being able to get some of my basic materials produced or gathered. You do get kind of like some miners, which I did set up, but I was really hoping to kind of see like my bots doing something, rather than just this cute little robot following me around being my storage container. So this one could be a little bit more on the slower side for the genre. I don't know how much longer I was going to go until we got automation going, but still a pretty charming game. If you like the Nova Island style of like a more like easy or more approachable logistics automation game, I would give this one a try. If you're looking for like full-blown Factorio, Dyson Sphere levels of automation and factory building, this is not going to be the game for you. So still a very charming game that I would say is still worth a check. And with that, we are done with part 4. And the hits will keep on coming for tomorrow and for tonight's stream. Let me know what you think about these games down below. I'm going to go rest, and I will see everyone for our next showcase. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and if you're interested in more of my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.